What do you need for tools? I like to have a screwdriver that is a 4-way combination screwdriver. You have a big one and a little one on the straight, and the Phillips end you have a big one and a little one. It's just nice to have one screwdriver that you can use for everything. You need a 7/16 open end box end wrench. And if you're going to replace heating elements, I like nut drivers. One's a 15/16 and one is a 3/8. And we'll get into that a little later. I like to always carry with me as a little LED flashlight for looking in the still area. It helps out when you're adjusting things. And a needle nose pliers. I usually have a cutter if you need to cut a wire. And you're getting into a little more advanced, well, let me back up here. A quick and dirty way is to just have a light bulb that you can plug in, at least for the storage tank, to make sure that the circuit is running, that you have power coming through the distiller to the boiling chamber. You can put this into the holding tank and run the float up and down and have the light turn on and off. It's an easy way to do it. They also have the two little prongs with an LED light that you can plug in and use in different places around the still. Those are available really at a reasonable price. I prefer to use a regular LED voltage meter. You can read the 110 or 220, and you can also read resistance when you don't have the current on. This requires a little bit of electrical knowledge ahead of time. If you're familiar with them, they're nice to have. Keep them with you. Otherwise, if you want, you can simply use a light tester or the little red LEDs. If we get a little more advanced, two things that I do, that I use a lot, is a wire stripper. You just simply put the wire in, strips the wire for you. And you can take a wire, any end, whatever end it is that you're going to use, put that on, and then you have a crimper. You crimp them into place, they're ready to go. The thing I like better for, especially on the heating element circuits, is to solder those. Use electric solder, rosin core solder, and solder them on. That way you know that they never loosen up. The problem with over years of having this hot, cold, where the current's going through and then it stops, is that the crimps in here may tend to loosen up. And once that process starts, that's where you start to get more of your hot burnt wires like you see here, where the wire is heating up and it's heating up the insulation and the circuit. So you want to be sure if you see that kind of thing when you're coming to service the still, if some of these wires are looking brown, I would replace them and put new ends on them. This switch is the one that takes all the abuse. I would replace that switch along with the gasket. If you see any kind of water drippage that's come off of this float gasket down, replace it.